Sunday evenings in Atlanta supposed to smell like peace. Fried salmon, candles, laughter under football noise. I'm Chris, the big brother. Bald head, beard full of lessons. Contractor by trade, quiet by choice. My wife Tasha's humming Anita Baker in the kitchen, them hazel eyes shining like she still believe in us. Marcus, my little brother, walks in, dread swinging, hoodie halfway zipped, grinning like trouble that smell good. "I brought that cobbler, big bro," he laughed. I nod, checking my phone, emails, invoices, deadlines. Always work, never time. Then her phone buzzed. My stomach turned cold. Tasha snatched it quick, voice low. "Baby, that's my cousin Toya playing again. You know how she texts." But Toya don't use hearts after midnight. Marcus looked down, smile gone quick. Somewhere between her humming and his silence, I felt a draft blow through our home. I didn't know it yet, but that text just laid the foundation for a house I was about to tear down. And by the time the truth showed up, love would be the first body on the floor. Sundays at Mama's old house used to sound like gospel and fried chicken grease. Now it was just me, my wife Tasha, and my little brother Marcus keeping the memory alive. The backyard smelled like charcoal and second chances. Marcus flipped ribs, dreads hanging low, laughing with that easy freedom I used to have. "Big bro, you gotta learn to chill," he said. "You're looking like a tax return in human form." I cracked a smile. Somebody gotta keep the lights on. Tasha leaned on the porch rail, hazel eyes catching the sun, phone in hand. "You always talking about work," she said, half joking, half tired. I walked over, kissed her cheek. "Ain't work, baby. It's love with a hammer." She laughed, that soft church lady laugh that used to stop time. Marcus grabbed his guitar and started humming a tune, his voice smooth, lazy, dangerous. Tasha clapped along. I caught it, the way her smile lasted 1 second too long. Baldwin said once, "Love takes off masks we fear we cannot live without." That day, I didn't know whose mask was slipping, hers, his, or mine. I turned the music down, stared at the clouds, pretending peace was still mine to build. But even then, something in that summer air whispered, somebody already laid new blueprints for heartbreak. Monday mornings got quiet after the laughter leaves. I was up before dawn, boots laced, contracts waiting downtown. Tasha still in bed, smelling like cocoa butter and peace. I kissed her forehead. "You good, baby?" She mumbled, "Don't work too hard." By noon, I texted her a pic of the job site, sun hitting the steel like heaven's flashlight. No reply. An hour later, Marcus called. "Yo, big bro, you still at that Midtown project?" I said, "Yeah, why?" "You ain't nothing," he laughed. "Just checking on you. You good?" His tone sounded rehearsed, too casual. That night, I came home, tired but grateful. The house smelled like candles again, music low. Tasha stood by the counter in that same red robe I bought her last Christmas. She asked, "You eat?" I said, "Not yet." Her phone buzzed. She froze and grabbed it quick. I saw one line before the screen went dark. "Wish I could see you again tonight." I looked at her. She smiled shaky. She said, "It's work stuff." Work don't use hearts in messages either. I smiled back, calm on the outside, earthquake underneath. Somewhere deep down, I knew that text wasn't a mistake. It was a headline. Wednesday night. Rain slicked the porch rail like oil. I was late from the site again. Paperwork and payroll eating my hours. Tasha said she was heading to her cousin's for Bible study. I kissed the cheek, grabbed my jacket. "Tell Toya I said hey." She smiled. "I will." By 9, I texted to check in. No answer. By 10, Marcus called. "Yo, bro, you good?" he asked. Yeah, you heard from Tasha? He paused just long enough for suspicion to stretch. Nah, man, you know them Bible folks run long. Outside, thunder clapped like truth knocking. I poured a drink, stared at my reflection in the TV screen. The Baldwin in me whispered, people pay for what they do, and still more for what they have allowed themselves to become. But I ain't know what I was yet. Husband, fool, or blind craftsman of my own heartbreak. Later that night, Tasha came home smelling like rain and guilt, dressed in perfume. She hugged me too long. You okay? I asked. Yeah, she said softly. Just tired. Somewhere deep in her tone, I heard goodbye rehearsing. Wednesday night. Rain slicked the porch rail like oil. I was late from the site again. Paperwork and payroll eating my hours. Tasha said she was heading to a cousin's for Bible study. I kissed her cheek, grabbed my jacket. Tell Toya I said, hey. She smiled. I will. By 9, I texted to check in. No answer. By 10, Marcus called. Yo, bro, you good? He asked. Yeah, you heard from Tasha? He paused just long enough for suspicion to stretch. Nah, man, you know them Bible folks run long. Outside, thunder clapped like truth knocking. I poured a drink, stared at my reflection in the TV screen. The Baldwin in me whispered, people pay for what they do, and still more for what they have allowed themselves to become. But I ain't know what I was yet. Husband, fool, or blind craftsman of my own heartbreak. Later that night, Tasha came home smelling like rain and guilt, dressed in perfume. She hugged me too long. You okay? I asked. Yeah, she said softly. Just tired. Somewhere deep in her tone, I heard goodbye rehearsing. The weekend came quiet, but quiet don't mean peace. I was fixing the downstairs sink when her phone buzzed again. Same tone, same vibration. Tasha was upstairs folding clothes, so I wiped my hands and looked toward the counter. The screen lit up. Meet me same spot, 3 p.m. My stomach dropped like a hammer. I didn't open it, just stared at those words long enough to memorize the font. When she came down, she moved fast, scooped it up, smiled too wide. You okay, Chris? Yeah, I said, just thinking about replacing that old faucet. She kissed my cheek, soft but distant. That afternoon, I called my old partner from the job site, Rico, said I needed a favor. Rico used to do side work for a private eye named Lewis, brother with glasses thick as bulletproof. I told him I needed eyes on my wife, discreet. He didn't ask why. Men like us know silence is cheaper than truth. Later that night, Tasha slept heavy beside me. Her breathing sounded borrowed. I stared at the ceiling fan, each spin counting down the hours till I'd know. Baldwin once said, you think your pain and your heartbreak are unprecedented, but then you read. I was about to read the hardest chapter of my life, and the author was somebody I loved. Monday morning smelt like sawdust and suspicion. I met Detective Lewis outside a diner on Lee Street, coffee steam fogging his glasses. You sure you want this, Mr. Collins? He asked. Truth don't come with refunds. I just find out who, I said, eyes fixed on traffic. He nodded, slid a notebook across the table. 2 weeks, cash only. By the time I got home, Tasha was in the garden, phone tucked in a robe pocket. She smiled. You eat yet? Grab something downtown. We made small talk that sounded like strangers learning each other's names. That evening, Marcus stopped by with new studio tracks. Play this, big bro, it's a vibe, he said, grinning. His laughter filled the living room like perfume. Tasha swayed with the beat, eyes half closed. I watched them both, her smile, his rhythm, 2 notes in the same wrong song. Lewis called me 3 days later. She's meeting someone regular, he said. Got plates, timestamps. You might want to sit down. My chest felt hollow. Who is it? He hesitated. Your brother. Silence swallowed the line. I couldn't breathe for a full minute. Outside, thunder rolled again. Same sound as the night everything started. Truth arriving late, but loud. When a man builds houses for a living, he learns how to tear one down quiet. After Lewis told me, I didn't rage, I redesigned. Measured twice, cut once. I went to work every day like nothing cracked, but inside, my blueprint changed. That Friday, I called Marcus. Come through Sunday, family dinner, been a minute. He laughed, relief in his voice. Say less, big bro, I'll bring dessert. Tasha heard me on the phone, eyes flickering like a short circuit. Dinner? She asked. Yeah, I said, smiling. Old school family night, just us. That night, I called Lewis again. You still got those mini cams? You planning to film something, Mr. Collins? Yeah, I said cold, a confession. Saturday, I spent the whole day cleaning, set the table, fixed the lights, even replaced that old faucet I'd been lying about. Every motion kept my hands from shaking. When I tested the cameras, each one blinked red, little eyes waiting for truth. Baldwin once wrote, "The place in which I'll fit will not exist until I make it." Sunday night, I was about to make it, the place where truth finally fits. Sunday evening glowed sweet like forgiveness baked fresh. Candles flickered, ribs slew cooking, gospel humming low. Marcus pulled up first, fresh cut, cologne loud, dreads twisted new. Smells like old times, he said, grinning. Yeah, I answered, eyes steady. Old times always come back. 10 minutes later, Tasha came down the stairs. Black dress, gold hoops, perfume thick with nerves. We sat. Laughter floated at first. Awkward, borrowed. I asked Marcus about music, Tasha about work, the kind of questions folks ask when truth's sitting in the room waiting its turn. My phone buzzed once. Lewis texted, "All cameras live." I raised my glass. To family. They clinked theirs, eyes locked for half a second too long. I smiled small, kept pouring. So, Tasha, you still do Bible study Wednesdays? Her hand froze mid-sip. Sometimes. Marcus cleared his throat. Yo, Chris, you ever think about taking a vacation? Yeah, I said, soon as I finish watching what matters. Silence stretched thin as wire. Somewhere in that silence, guilt started breathing heavy. They ain't know it yet, but they were sitting inside their own confession booth, and I was the preacher, taking notes. After dinner, I told them stay a little. Family movie night, I said, hitting play on the TV. The screen blinked, then my own living room appeared, grainy, black and white. Tasha's laugh filled the speakers, soft, guilty. Marcus's voice followed close behind. You sure he don't suspect? He asked on the video. Chris always working. He don't notice nothing. Present-day Marcus jumped up. Bruh, I can explain. Don't, I said. You already recorded it. Tasha's eyes filled fast, sobbed softly. Chris, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. You met every text, I said quiet. You built a house on lies, and I just showed you the blueprint. Marcus stepped forward. I never wanted to hurt you, man. But you did, and now you gotta live in what you built. The room went still. Candle flame bent sideways, like it couldn't stand the heat either. Tasha took off a ring, set it on the table. It clinked like a verdict.
Marcus reached for her hand. She pulled away. I turned the TV off. "Y'all go," I said. "Truth don't need an audience no more." They left together, shadows overlapping, but already pulling apart.
A week passed before the silence settled. Marcus moved out the city. Folks said they saw him playing guitar in some downtown bar, singing love songs that didn't sound like love no more. Tasha texted once. "I thought love could fix us." I never replied. Some prayers stay unanswered on purpose. I sold the house, couldn't stand the echoes. Moved into a small apartment over my shop, bare walls, clean air, no ghosts. Every morning I'd make coffee, watch sun bleed through blinds, and breathe. Baldwin once wrote, "Freedom is not something that anybody can be given. Freedom is something people take." That morning, I took mine back. Funny thing, peace don't shout, it whispers. And when it does, you realize how loud lies used to be. I still pray for them both, not out of weakness, but out of release. Sometimes love ain't meant to last, it's meant to teach. I walked outside, city humming slow beneath the street lights. A new build starting down the block, fresh lumber, clean foundation. I smiled, time to work again. Because every broken home deserves a rebuild, even the one inside a man's chest. From savage to saved. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for liking my story.